Yeah, so in this video, we'll just go over why home prices haven't been dropping and then kind of my thoughts and advice on how to kind of navigate through it. And yeah, I'll just go straight from there. But I'm Chris, the Big Block Realty North, and I'm a realty here in Sacramento. Um, I first thing to point out though, Sacramento has been crazy busy. One of the biggest reasons why is because since COVID hit, a lot of companies are starting to get used to having their employees work from home. And so with a lot of people in the Bay Area thinking, well, if I can work from home and then get a nicer home instead of paying $775,000 for a two-bedroom shack, I can use that money and buy maybe a $500,000 home in Sacramento, which gives me about four bedrooms, 2.5 baths in a nice excuse me, in a nice area. Why not just do that? So we've been seeing like a crazy influx of people from the Bay Area. So with that, kind of leads into why the prices haven't been dropping. But for nationally, because there was already a low inventory going on, so like a shortage of inventory, and the demand was so high and the inventory was so low that it creates these home prices are shooting up. And that was before COVID hit. But when COVID did hit, though, it kind of just paused. So the number of homes that were selling went down for a little while, but not the prices. So millions of people have lost their jobs. And then some people even had to back out of a contract, back out of the transaction of buying a home. And then, so with that going on, the number of buyers went down, but also people who were thinking of selling went down as well because they want to see how it all pans out. And then also people who may have gotten foreclosures or anything like that, it only went up to about like 9%, between 9 and 10%, and not what some people were thinking. Oh, it's going to be so much more people getting foreclosed on. It didn't happen like that. So you got people waiting to see what happens. You got the sellers waiting to see what happens through this pandemic, and then less buyers. So it's still like this. So before COVID, pause, COVID, after COVID, went down. So it's still that gap. Going on. So that is what is going on at the moment, which is pretty wild to see, especially for Sacramento. Which one was it? There was a home in Fair Oaks. If you are familiar with Sacramento, there was a home in Fair Oaks that was listed at $475, had about 10 offers on it, which to me was pretty crazy because, of course, the home sold for more than $475, but because of the amount of people that wanted to buy the home. So it is crazy to see. But my quick advice on it. So if you are in the market and you're like, okay, so I have to get to a certain home because I want to be in a certain school district for my kids, or you have to relocate or anything like that. So whatever you were pre-approved for and whatever you are comfortable with for monthly payments, just stick with that. So say like, oh, I'm only comfortable making $1,700 or paying $1,700 for a month. That is like mortgage payment, mortgage insurance if you need it, utility bills, all that stuff. Stay at that level. So even if you find a home that fits everything that you need, but there's like 23 offers on it, if you want to, you can, but I advise not to go past your comfort level. Just that way you don't have to worry about, okay, being house poor, being stretched too thin or anything like that. And what you could do is instead of going for the home that's going to get multiple offers, look for some that, may need a little bit of work and that is not as desirable, but in the same location that you're wanting to live in. That way you don't have to compete with so many people, and then try to see if you can also get into any off-market properties. Hopefully a realtor can help you out with that. But that would be about two things of advice to go from there. Yeah, honestly, that should be about it. Just remember, it's a long-term investment. Keep it moving. And then, oh yeah, so with some of the buyers, there's extremely low interest rates. So that is driving up that demand. So people want to kind of take advantage of it. Now, the real interest rate is the interest rate that you're given, or APR, minus the inflation rate. And then so usually around now, it's about 1%. So the real interest rate is about 1%, with the inflation rate going against the interest rate, since interest rates are like around 3%. And so that definitely does help out with the demand, but also it's kind of like taking advantage of, the rate that you get, because you're paying a low real interest rate, especially over time, over the 30 years. So yeah, this is definitely crazy to see. We will see what happens. You got chief economist from Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, CoreLogic saying about how it's all kind of like mixed reviews. So saying, oh yeah, by the end of the year, home prices will drop 2%. Oh, by the end of the year, home prices will go up by 3%. So no one really officially knows. They just use the statistical models, to make valuations, to make predictions. So I'm not sure how it all will end, but that's what I'm saying. Like, only stick with what you're comfortable with, so that way you're never either stretched out too thin or you missed out on something. As long as you are comfortable with making the payments that you want to make, great. And remember, it's long-term investment, and just ride it out. And that's it. That's all I got for you. So hopefully this was entertaining. Well, not entertaining. Hopefully this is informative. If not, let me know in the comments. I appreciate critical feedback. Yeah, until the next time, y'all have a good one.